Hello, welcome to my channel. I've lost 180 pounds with keto, carnivore, and counting calories. Thank you for watching. Hello, it's time to get my stuff ready for work tomorrow. This is, I already did it. This was ground beef, and I added one serving, actually a little less of a serving because I emptied it out. It's pasta sauce. And I emptied it out, and then, you know me, I added water and shook it up to finish it off. I've got some cheese in here and some of those red bell pepper strips and some raw onions. And like I said, I sprinkled some of that Frigo Parmesan cheese. So I'm going to take that for lunch tomorrow. I'm going to have with it, random, I know, but this is the rutabaga and green beans because I'm kind of working through all my sides. So I'll be having, pasta and green beans. And then for breakfast, I'll have my yogurt. Which one is this? Vanilla yogurt. And then I'll have my egg casserole. I freeze these after I make it. I cut it up in these portions. And then I freeze them. They defrost really well for me. I'm not one that freaks out over texture and stuff. So they are a little wet, but because the ice crystals and stuff. So they're definitely wet whenever when I eat them. But don't bother me none. I microwave them. You know me, 2 minutes. I cut it into bite-sized pieces and microwave it for 2 minutes, and that's gonna be my breakfast in the morning. The I don't know, marinara, pasta, whatever. The pasteless bowl. The Italian bowl, whatever. I did put in some of the Greek seasoning as well as some of my rosemary. That rosemary seasoning that I use a lot. So I've got that on it. Let's have a conversation. Hang on, let me put this away. So in the mornings, I'm not doing my protein powder. And so I had to get off caffeine for a little bit, for over the weekend. And, tomorrow I'm going to add some caffeine back. Anyway, so it was just a personal thing. I had an issue. And, so I broke out my instant coffee. I put a tablespoon of my instant coffee into here. And then I put not quite a tablespoon of my chocolate electrolytes. So that's going to be in my cup. In the morning, I'm just going to run hot water. And I'll put in some of this classic caramel, the sugar-free. And I may or may not use some of this. I don't know. Depends on how it tastes. We'll see. I don't always have to. But anyway, so I'll run my hot water. And I'll use the instant coffee. So what I found is that the coffee pods that have the fresh coffee in it, they are more potent than the instant. So I just had some issues. It was making me super anxious, so I had to get off the coffee. And for now, I am off of the Wellbutrin as well. It was helping me focus, but the only way I can describe it is when you go out in the sun and it's really bright and you squint and all you can think of is how bright that sun is, and that's where your focus is. It's like really the brain's firing. Well, with the Wellbutrin, that's what it was doing for everything. Somebody comes up, has a problem, that's all I could focus on, and it just was overwhelming, and I stressed about it. Somebody else has something, oh man, that's a big deal. Oh, it's really bright and really in my brain. And I ended up taking Friday off of work because I had so much going on that I quit my job twice on my day off. Not literally, but in my brain, I was like, oh, work this, work that. And nothing was wrong with work. It was all what was built up in my head because of the anxiety. So I stopped the medicine. I haven't called my doctor yet. I will. It was too busy today. But anyway, there may be something, an alternative. I don't know, whatever. But for now, I'm just getting back to my baseline and not gonna have any SAM-E or anything. Just gonna continue with what I was taking, and I'm keeping it's a half tablet of the ginkgo biloba, so which is the memory thing. So anyway, so yeah, I know some of you are sitting there, I told you Wellbutrin didn't work for me. Well, whatever. Anyway, so I'm just going to get back to my baseline and see what my baseline is, because I was on that over-the-counter SAM-E stuff for several months, and so I don't even know what my baseline is anymore. And today I was back to, well, let me think about it. So it's just, whatever. But anyway, so I got off the caffeine for a couple days this weekend, because it was like my heart was racing and my anxiety was like, blah. So I quit that Wellbutrin for now, and that's what I know. So I know some of y'all are like, I told you it didn't work for me. Well, I don't care. I had to try it anyway. So, all right. So let's get back to the food, and I'll show you what I'm going to eat in the morning. Bye. Good morning. It's breakfast time. I have my egg casserole. 5-second rule. Egg casserole. And my yogurt. And still working on my coffee. Okay, bye. Hello, it's lunchtime, and we are having green beans and rutabaga. Let's just have a little taste. A little tasty taste. Come on. Then this other weird creation. I had the roasted bell peppers, and I stuck some raw red onions in it, and the pasta sauce, and some cheese. But so they were raw onions, but I nuked them for 2 minutes. Yeah. So that's my lunch. See you at supper. Look, I got Employee of the Quarter at my work. There's like 500 employees, and it says Employee of the Quarter for Cape County for the first quarter of 2023. It's got my name. They wrote it all fancy. Look how fancy that is. Got that. And I got this water bottle. Isn't that cool? Oh, people are so nice. Okay, I just had to share that with you. So, yay, fun. Okay, bye. Okay, it's supper time. This weekend I made up some cabbage. Look how terrible that looks. But I don't care. It's going to taste good. I know it tastes good because it's that purple cabbage and green cabbage. And some beef stroganoff. So I'm going to get this oh, wait a minute now. I remember I didn't cut this up. So, let me. I'm going to cut these up into bite-sized pieces. Remember when I said meal prep day Terry was not nice to future Terry? Yeah, I'm still bitter about that. Please be conscientious of your future self when you are doing your meal prep, because you don't know where you're going to be, you don't know where you're going to take it, you don't know what's going to be going on when you grab this out of the refrigerator or freezer or whatever. So right now I have to cut this up, guys. So let me tell you about today. So it was about 2 o'clock, and I'm leaned forward, looking really hard at my monitor, focused, and my boss is not in my building. And so I'm sitting there and focused, and all of a sudden I hear, Terry. And I look up, and it's my boss. Well, as most of you, I was the kid that was always in trouble. Judy, least if you're watching, you can attest to this. I was always caught at everything I did. So I always have this, I think they call it the fawn syndrome. I always get this deer in the headlights, like, oh my gosh, what happened? What's going on? Even if I'm not doing anything wrong, I immediately just stop and freeze. And I'm like, all right, did I send a bad email? Am I in trouble? Why is she in our building? Did I do something wrong? That's just all of the things that play in my brain. So she showed up at work for no reason, no warning. And she said, we're having a meeting with the client down the hall. And I'm like, oh, okay, wait a minute. Does that mean a client's there and they're having health problems? Does that mean she needs one of my nurses who knows the client, who can answer questions? So, again, my brain just goes blah, 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 blah. And so anyway, I'm like, well, let me see who I need to get. And she said, no, I need you. Now, come on. I'm like, okay. So I just follow her, like, all confused. And I walk into this room, and it's like our meeting room. And I look. I see a couple people from my team, a couple people from that are like kind of work close to my team, and I see a couple other people from my team, see a couple other supervisors that aren't part of my team, and I see some other people, some other staff that work in our building, and I'm just standing there. I'm like so confused. And my boss, she's ornery, but she's quiet ornery. So she just walks in, and then she just kind of steps over to the side and looks at me. And one of my coworkers recorded it. And to me, standing there, from the moment I walked in, scanning the room, to the time she talked, felt like an hour. Like I'm standing there in my brain, what's going on? Why is all these people here? Well, I've been here, it's not my 12-year anniversary. I don't think they do anything for people's anniversary. My birthday, that's in February, so they wouldn't be having us all here for my birthday. Why are they all sitting here and laughing and smiling when I walk in the door? What's going on? So like I said, it felt like a whole hour. And finally she said, well, you won employee of the quarter. And I'm like, what? And so anyway, so they were all clapping and cheering. But then I'm standing there, I'm like, oh my gosh. So it's just like, like I said, that's just how my brain processes things. So anyway, this is the water bottle that I got. It's so nice. It's one of those like metal ones. And y'all know I wash everything in the dishwasher. Well, I'm not putting this in the dishwasher because I don't want the metal to come off. I'll probably set it up on the shelf because it's an awfully nice one. And and then, like I said, I got that certificate. So it was like, holy cow. It was such a surprise. And then, hang on. So then my co-director, she said that whenever our boss walked in, she was like, well, why is she here? And then I said, well, where's Terry? And so she said she thought, what did Terry do? See, we all kind of have that thought process. But anyway, and then she found out, my co-director, she told her what was going on. So she went around and gathered the people in our building. So anyway, it was a fun surprise. So I'm like, oh, what a great day. So yeah, so I had a great day. Yay. So anyway, all right, I'll get to the food. Hang on. So here it is, our beef stroganoff. I'm telling y'all, this was a good one. Who am I kidding? I like all my food. So beef stroganoff with spaghetti squash. I don't care what you say, Leslie. This is good. Even the texture is good. And then my cabbage. I left some with my mama when I went there Sunday. Yep. So that's my supper. Okay, bye.